Farmers, are you looking for a way to save hay this winter? We have the solution for you. We're talking about Cold-Grazer Rye. I'm here at Nix's Seed and Hardware with Josh. Josh, what is Cold-Grazer Rye?
It's a grain. It's not a rye grass. So it'll grow, you start in the fall, it'll grow all winter. It'll grow till about the first part of May. Very productive. It grows about as cold as anything. It goes colder than really anything else you can do. It's going to go colder than wheat, ryegrass, fescue. It grows down to 40 degrees, and so it grows 2 to 3 weeks longer than everything else does. 2 to 3 weeks earlier in the spring than everything else. It's actually a cross. It's a couple varieties crossed to make a strain cross rye. So it's varieties that we use to come up with Cold-Grazer because it grows colder. That's why we like it.
Okay, so when you go to plant it, can you no-till drill it into the soil?
That's the most popular way to plant it. No-till drills work really well. We try to get it in the ground 1.5 to 2 inches. Try to get some cover on it. Try to get it down in the dirt where the moisture is, and you'll get a lot better germination in the dirt.
Okay, so how is it different than other winter annuals that like a cattleman or a dairyman might use?
The main difference is it grows colder than they do. I mean, it's going to grow colder than anything else you can do. Like I said, it grows down to 40 degrees. Most things stop, like wheat will stop at 52 degrees. It'll grow down to 40, so that equates to about 2 weeks longer in the fall, maybe 2 to 3 weeks earlier in the spring. So it makes your winter shorter, so you get more production in the cold months when you need it to save hay. Saving hay is the most important thing you can do. A lot of energy put into making hay and feeding it. You're on the field 4 or 5 times to get that done, but you can no-till drill this and let the cows graze it.
What classes of livestock might use Cold-Grazer?
Of course, beef farmers use it for growing beef, but everybody can use it. Dairy guys can use it. You can use it for backgrounding. It's going to be a high tonnage, good high protein, and the main reason why everybody likes it is because it grows longer in the winter, fills that winter void better, and earlier in the spring.
Can you use this for hay baling?
Yes, you can. It's a little tougher to dry bale it than some other options because it matures so early in April. We would recommend Triticale if you're going to try to dry bale. Triticale is a cross between rye and wheat, so it gives you a couple more weeks. It'll push on into May, so it gives you 2 more weeks to be able to get the right weather to bale it. We mainly use Cold-Grazer for grazing, and if you could dry bale it, but you'd have to do it early, and then people will wrap it, they'll chop it, they'll silage it. When they're going to wrap it up wet, it works fine, but it's kind of tough getting the weather just right for it.
Now, if you're going to use Triticale, are you getting then a good mix between the quality of a wheat grain and the vigor of the rye? Is that why you would use Triticale?
Yeah, Triticale is going to be a big plant, not quite as big as rye. Going to be a lot bigger, more tonnage than wheat, and it's earlier than wheat, so it does help you get more production early spring when you need it, but it gives you a couple more weeks to be able to try to dry bale it. The Cold-Grazer would finish earlier than that. So yeah, it's a real good option. We like Cold-Grazer mainly though for grazing.
Since this is a winter annual and the cattle are eating it through the winter, then what would you follow up on that field with to plant in the spring?
Probably safety graze. That's going to be a summer annual we use. Real productive, big plant. Use it for grazing again. Really likes the hot weather. You could use pearl millet. You could use forage sorghums. There's a few things that are summer annuals you could use behind it, and then come right back with the Cold-Grazer again in the fall.
All right. Well, this Cold-Grazer Rye is a great option then. Thanks so much, Josh.
Yeah. Thanks.